Hey y'all, it's Daragh here again. I enjoyed the process of putting together the little video yesterday with the couple of poems. So I'm going to do it again. A few of you seem to enjoy it, so here goes. I'll do two poems again. One will be by somebody else, another by myself. I think it's a good format. The first one is going to come out of this anthology, which is called Poetry of Presence. I found out about this book when I was on a meditation retreat back in January. One of my teachers there alerted me to its existence, and as soon as I got back, I bought it. It sounds exactly like my cup of tea. Those of you who know me know I'm really interested in meditation, and there's an obvious and intricate relationship between meditative states and practice, and the kind of states and sense that poetry can evoke as well, at least to my mind. So I'm going to read a short poem from this book. It is called "The Second Music." It's by Annie Lightheart. This is a new poet to me. Not read the poem before either until I picked it out yesterday. And here it goes. The Second Music. Now I understand that there are two melodies playing, one below the other, one easier to hear, the other lower, steady, perhaps more faithful for being less heard, yet always present. When all other things seem lively and real, this one fades, yet the notes of it touch as gently as fingertips as the sound of the names laid over each child at birth. I want to stay in that music without striving or cover, if the truth of our lives is what it is playing. The telling is so soft that this mortal time, this irrevocable change becomes beautiful. I stop and stop again to hear the second music. I hear the children in the yard, a train, then birds. All this is in it and will be gone. I set my ear to it as I would to a heart. Beautiful stuff. One of the reasons I like that poem is, I view meditative practice as an act of listening. You sit and you're just kind of listening to the world, seeing what it has to tell you, and underneath the surface, the kind of day-to-day chatter of what's going on, the news, the kind of day-to-day activities of relationships and work and all of that stuff. When that settles down, there's a sense of something just kind of beneath that that I can sometimes capture on a good day. And I think that poem expresses it beautifully as this metaphor of the second music, the music underneath the stuff that you hear most obviously. So yeah, I'm very drawn to it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to read you one of my own poems now, and it's actually on quite a similar theme. I'm choosing it because of the title, but hopefully you'll see that the actual meaning is somewhat related to the poem I just read. So I'm going to read you this one. It's called, quite fittingly for the times, "The Day the World Stopped." And it goes like this. A day came when the world stopped. It must have stopped slowly with no great sense of upheaval as the planets, carefree, tumbling, temporarily ceased. Your neighborhood appeared just like it had a minute past. That lady walking, hooded child in hand, had stayed upright. Buildings remained elegantly balanced on their 19th century foundations. The sky still shone, a winter's evening pinkish blue. No apocalyptic winds raged. The birds still sang. In fact, the birds still flew, and you had a hunch the lady and the child had tiptoed on a step or two. Did the sun just drop 1 inch toward the night, and then another? Perhaps the world hadn't stopped at all, but something Something had taken on the feel of a safe at the bottom of a lake, half buried, immobile, letting nothing in or out, keeping all its secrets still and solid. Perhaps it was you that had stopped. Perhaps you'd handed over for a breath's length the fistfuls of deep care you dragged behind, their whispering, insistent scrapes that normally reminded you to worry, settling into stationary silence, the ward of some magician who gave you in return a pause so strangely quiet that you swore you heard space shake, saw its very outline, felt the universe about to crack, to open up its secrets from the deep. And you would be the only one to know before it tore itself apart. Or was that just your heartbeat, your tired eyes? Perhaps, in fact, you hadn't stopped. Your hand still trembled. Blood moved in your veins. A dry eyeball made you reach. Perhaps you didn't need to stop. Perhaps the world need never stop, to feel into that space beneath the chatter and the fury, the merciless but so completely necessary asks of daily life, that sacred space so far beneath all notions of stopping or going or moving or time or sound or self. Perhaps that space is living in these moments. It is the universal revelation that we're all poised to hear at any time, in stillness or in motion. In every single instant, the world stops on its axis, savoring the freshness of the moment just gone by, spins on to breathe that life into the next, never really moving, never really still. I've probably been writing poetry with any degree of sort of intention in the last few years, and that was one of the first pieces that I wrote that I thought, oh, hang on, yeah, that's I like that. It happened. It came about after just a pause on a Sunday afternoon. I was walking around Surrey Hills and I just stopped and looked around the neighbourhood, and my mind went quiet, and there was nothing in particular happening, and I felt very present to the world. And we're all going through this process where the world appears to be stopping for a while for very different reasons, but maybe it is an opportunity during that process to kind of observe what's going on underneath all of the chatter. There's probably layers of fear and anxiety and all of that stuff, but somewhere in there, even now, there's some kind of stillness, and if we're tuned into it, we can, I believe, sense it at any time, regardless of what's going on in our lives. So once more, thank you for indulging me. I hope to keep this going for a while yet, until I run out of poems. I won't run out of other people's poems. I might run out of mine eventually. So I hope you're having a great weekend, and see you all soon.